Oh my gosh, we've made it to another first Tuesday of the month. Y'all know Women's Wellness Journey is when we do our free webinar once a month where you women and men who love our content, you get invited into a special opportunity in the month of December, y'all. We have a special guest, and I feel like I'm the guest of honor. I mean, I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness, y'all. This is Molly. Molly is an eyeglass extraordinaire. If you can't tell from the background of this video, she is genius. Her and I have talked offline before, and I'm like, I'm excited about the blue light glasses. So just enough about me. Molly, what in the world do you have to tell us today? I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh, Connie, thank you so much. I'm so excited to join you. As you can tell, I love eyewear. It's my passion, and I cannot wait to tell you guys a bit about just my field, about glasses, about eye health, about vision, because people have a lot of questions about that. So let's get into it. All right. So my first question is, are you setting yourself up with healthy vision for life? Um, a little bit of background on me. I actually started in the industry in 2006, um, and I am an ABO certified optician. I got my certification in 2018. We'll go into more as to what that means here in just a moment. But basically, this just means that I've been around optometry in a practice with an optometrist since 2006. I did take a break in the middle, bit of a creative background, as you can tell. So I have had some creative journeys on the way. I also have been in practice management and coaching. Really, that's been the bulk of my career for the last like 8 years or so. So that means I've led a team of eyewear professionals and coached them. I've done hiring. I've done all kinds of things, everything office related, everything optometry you can imagine. But opticianry, which again, we'll learn more about what that means. Opticianry is really my heart and my love. And so that's what I'm here to share with you today. I am also an SCIP certified coach, which a lot of you probably haven't heard of SCIP, but if you probably have heard of emotional intelligence or EQ. And so that's specifically what I mean when I say SCIP. That has been so valuable, not only with the teams I've helped develop, but also with dealing with patients even better. A lot of the times, all people, we interact with people in lots of different ways. We understand that people are different than us. But a lot of times in practice, you can hit a roadblock and not really be sure how to proceed, how to help that individual person. A lot of us have a natural aptitude for that. SCIP kind of breaks it down as to the why, what the tools are, how we manage ourselves, our own emotions, our own behavior, and how we manage our relationships. So I do think that's really helpful. If you do have questions about SCIP or emotional intelligence coaching for yourself or for a team, I'd love to speak with you. Feel free to shoot me an email. Um, and so, most recently on my journey, I have opened a physical optical shop in Midtown Oklahoma City. And that's where I'm at right now. Um, I love Midtown. I love Oklahoma City. It's been a wonderful community. Our name is Novel Optical. Novel because it means unique, and because I think that you should be the main character in your own story. And we're here to tell those stories. I end up learning a lot of stories from people I'm helping over the years, and I love that. So that's kind of the meaning behind novel. All right, so our first slide, I did promise you I would explain what an optician actually was. There is a lot of confusion around this because you guys don't work in the eye care professional environment. And so I wanted to demystify this a bit, explain. So for an optometrist, that's usually what we mean when we say I go to the eye doctor. So an optometrist is going to be specifically think of them like your primary care for eye care. You want to see your optometrist every year. They're going to give you not only a vision check, but also a health check of the full health of your eyes, the front of your eyes, the back of your eyes. And this is really important for early diagnosis for any kind of disease. But it's also just really important for everyone who has eyeballs, which is all of us. So a lot of times people tend to think like, I can see just fine. I don't need to go to the eye doctor. But truly, it is a really important health visit that you should attend every year. It can really help you get ahead of things before they are a problem. And also, it's really a picture into your overall health. So, an ophthalmologist is a surgeon. So, both of these are medical doctors. An ophthalmologist is specifically a specialist and or a surgeon. They typically specialize in one specific area of the eye, whether that's retina or macula or the front surface. But they also do evaluate overall eye health. Typically, people see an ophthalmologist when there's been a health concern identified from their optometrist and they've been referred to that ophthalmologist. You can also go to either doctor if you have any kind of emergency or injury, or if you have a change in your vision. Definitely contact one of these specialists immediately if those things happen. Okay, so that we talked about an optometrist and an ophthalmologist. Third, we're going to talk about an optician, which is what I am. So, opticians are eyewear specialists. They specialize in the filling of glasses prescriptions and fitting of eyewear. We are not doctors and we don't give medical advice. So, I just want to put that out there. We'll talk a lot about the eye and eye health and vision, but really where I specialize is specifically eyewear. All right, so great question here. Do I need an eye exam every year? And again, we've established I'm not a doctor, but this is a normal standard of care that yes, you do need one every year. If you're ever wondering, why do I need an eye exam? Ask your doctor about things like early presbyopia, screen time and blue light exposure, the dry eye epidemic that we're having in this country. A lot of that is from screen time, and early health diagnosis and how that factors in to your annual eye exam. Okay, so you've been to your eye doctor, you have your prescription. Now what? Is it one pair fits all? I'm here to answer those questions because it's really quite dependent on you, on your occupation, what hobbies you have, what your needs are. So I'm going to give you a bit of a case study. So here we have Sarah, not based on a true patient. Her doctor gave her a new prescription for no-line bifocals for the first time. Her occupation is in medical billing, so she's on the computer more than 8 hours a day. Her hobbies include painting and singing in the choir. She also has 2 children enrolled in sports, and she goes to the esthetician for treatments like whether that's Botox, IPL, RF, laser. She cares about her skin. All right, so this is her first time even going to the eye doctor, her first time with a prescription. And so she's wondering, well, I guess I know I need, one pair, but is that all that I need? Great question. So we're going to break that down. So we know that she is on the computer 8 hours a day. We know that she's a painter and sports events are coming into play. So 8 hours of screen time daily. That means that she really would benefit from a workspace pair to prevent fatigue, and it's going to include a blue light filter that will protect against the effects of her screens and also protect her results at the esthetician. So a lot of times we don't think about how if we're investing in whether it's skincare or skin treatments, Botox, how do we protect those results? So definitely not by squinting at the computer. Definitely not by holding our heads in crazy directions to see like what's clear on our screen. That's just going to undo all that work that you've done to make your skin healthy and happy. But also too, there are a lot of effects. It's been very well studied. There are a lot of not great effects from blue light exposure, and we are on screens all day long. So anyone over a certain amount of hours, you can ask your doctor on the specifics. Anyone on the computer a lot really would benefit from a blue light pair of glasses. She also paints though, and if you ever know anyone who is an artist, whether it's a photographer or a painter, you're going to know that they need to see colors very well. They need to have true color clarity when they are doing their craft. So that means that she actually can't use the blue light filtering glasses when she's doing her hobby. because a blue light filtering pair of glasses, a good ophthalmic pair, is going to have not only an anti-reflective on the surface that actually reflects blue light, it will also have an absorbing property that absorbs it before it reaches your eye. That absorption property does have a slight tint that will change color. If you're going to be on the computer for hours, it is the best option. But if you are any kind of artist, you'll need a different option that will give you true color clarity. All right. And we also know that Sarah goes to sports events, but really all of us are outside in the sun, right? So, in order to keep your vision healthy for life and to see in the bright sun, a prescription pair of sunglasses would really help. And again, ask your doctor about the long-term effects of sun exposure. Your eye doctor will have a lot to tell you about that. So, that's some examples. So, it's just some really good examples of why we may not be a one size fits all for glasses. And it's just very case by case. It really depends on what's best for you. And so here we're going to talk about why a workspace pair. Great question. You see my little person here has a neck pain, has some neck pain. So when you're on the computer, and if you need a no line bifocal or progressive, which means what? It means that you have distance, intermediate, and reading vision all in the same lens. So when you have an all-purpose pair, this area at the top is for distance, and it's going to be the widest area. Why is that? It's because we need it to drive safely and to see well at distance. That's the most important part when you're wearing glasses. The second most important part in an all-purpose pair is being able to read. If you're at a restaurant and you'd like to see the menu, if you want to read your prescription bottles, if you want to see your phone and see what time it is, we need to read. The only area that is, well, not the only area, the area that's the most reduced is going to be this intermediate or computer range. It's just the way that the lens design is in order to maximize the distance and the near to make them an all around, all purpose pair. This area just ends up getting minimized. What that means is that if you're a progressive wearer and you're wearing just your normal everyday pair at the computer, you will find yourself craning your neck quite a bit. This can cause neck pain, it can cause muscle tension, it can cause real issues. In fact, my dad, I'll use my dad as a great example. He worked in bookkeeping, computers, most of his career for years and years, for decades. And I've helped him and my mom with their vision needs for a long time since I've been in the industry. And for years, I asked him, I was like, Daddy, I really wish you would let me do a computer pair of glasses for you. By the time he did, years later, go ahead and try them, he said his neck pain was completely reduced. It was actually life changing, and now he's retired. Thank goodness, I'm happy for that. But they were an absolute essential to his workday before that time, because you can see on the right hand of your screen, the workspace lens is designed differently. When you have a workspace lens designed for your workspace, the distance is going to be smaller. You can compare the blue area here. You can see it's a lot smaller. That's because we're not driving with this pair. We need it for the office. So the area that you need the very most is the largest, which is the computer and the reading. So there is a little bit of distance in the top. Usage on this can vary. Some people can wear this lens around the whole office all day and have no problems. Some people will say, oh no, I leave those at my desk because when I get up, I feel a little dizzy when I walk. So that's very patient dependent, person to person. But what this lens will do excellent at is everything you have to do, arm's length or closer, whatever that might be. That could, usually that's computers, but that could be playing the piano. That could be some kind of art or craft hobby. That could be cabinetry. There's lots of reasons why we would want an area that's really big and nice and beautiful that's arm's length and closer. So that's kind of that answers the question of why would we recommend a workspace pair? And you can kind of see the benefits and the difference in that. All right, so now we've talked about our lenses. So I'm going to say, okay, frame me. Is there really a difference in what glasses I get? Aren't all frames the same? Really, not necessarily. There is a really huge difference in frame production techniques, country of manufacture, the materials that are used, who produces them. There are big companies that mass produce frames, and then there's small companies that are independent and they're actually handcrafted in small batches. All of this has an effect on how long they last, your frames. Once you invest in them, if you have a good quality frame, you can actually use them time after time for many years. Um, Other frames will kind of start to fall apart. They'll start to loosen up very quickly. You'll lose screws all the time. They'll get out of adjustment easily. They'll fall apart really easily. And that's just showing the difference in the quality of manufacturing. Also, we all know that not all countries have the same standards when it comes to production. And unfortunately, sometimes you can actually be wearing products that do have toxins unless you're careful. So I find that's one thing that people often forget. They might be really careful about eating organic foods, avoiding different toxins in their products they buy for their skin or their hair or even their laundry. But we might forget that what goes on our face, what's against our skin, which is our biggest organ, it's there every day, can actually introduce toxins if we don't choose a company that has more ethical practices. This also goes for non-prescription sunglasses as well. They're definitely not all created equal, so be happy to chat about that if you have any questions there. All right, so questions to ask when you're getting frames, if this is something that matters to you, would be where were these frames made? Does the company use ethical and sustainable practices? These are great questions that anyone should be able to answer for you. And again, if this is important to your purchasing, to your investing in your eyewear in your daily life, then these are questions that you should absolutely be asking. All right. And then why choose a local optical shop? There are so many benefits when you choose to partner with someone who's local, a local optician. You get customized frame styling. We can give you recommendations based on not only your lifestyle needs, but also your face shape, your skin tone, your coloring, your comfort, your preferences. You're not going to be on your own. You'll have a partner, someone who can help you with that. Expert fitting and adjustments. So fitting and adjustments is so crucial to making sure that you can see well with your eyewear, not just see well, but that they're comfortable. You can tell my glasses aren't moving. My eyes are well centered. This actually factors a lot into my happiness throughout the day. And I think that's the same for a lot of people. Um, Often, ill fitting glasses can be just a constant cause of frustration. It's like a drip, 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 or that pair of shoes or something you wear that isn't comfortable. And we wear them all day, every day. So it's important that you partner with someone who understands that and knows how to make your glasses work well for you. Also, you have a direct line of communication. If you're going to a local optical shop like Novel, like mine, you're typically going to always have the same people who are there. For me, I am the only optician at Novel. So if I'm open, then you will see me when you come into the office. So I will know what we talked about. I will know that we tried this adjustment last time and it didn't work and what to do next. And you're going to have that face to face, consistent, form of communication with someone. Independent optical shops also have really diverse eyewear options. I actually have several lines that are nowhere else in Oklahoma. And I think that's a lot of fun. A lot of people really enjoy that they can get something that no one else has. So you have a lot of more options. And then also shaping your community. So when you choose to support a locally owned optical shop, you're actually investing in your community and growing the individuals that are here instead of bigger chain stores. So just a few reasons I would say to choose local. All right, so I'm wondering, I'd love to open up for questions. Do we have any questions?
You have a lot. You
Oh,
have a lot. Either you can read them, you don't have to answer all of them. You can choose the one that's your favorite. If you want me to read them out to you, I can.
oh no, this is great. Okay, this looks good. So I love this one. It's talking about, is there a vegan friendly frame? That's such a great question. There absolutely is. In fact, all of the frames that I carry are vegan friendly. And usually you can find that out from the manufacturer or the person who has the frame. So basically, vegan friendly is going to mean if there's leather elements, it's vegan friendly. There were no animal byproducts used in the manufacturer, and all of my frames are absolutely vegan friendly. So yeah, absolutely. Connie, why don't you pick another one for me? We do have a lot. Wow.
I like this one. How many glasses do you personally have
Oh
or
my
own?
gosh. That's a great question. I will say the last time I counted, I think it was 49. I think it was 49.
Now, do you have more glasses than you do shoes?
But yes, for sure, actually, which is a great point, because no one really has one pair of shoes. And so it's nice to have choice. I couldn't wear my green ones every day, but then I also get tired of my black ones. So it's nice to have options, not only for what I do, like my hobbies, but also just for every day. It's nice to have different frames to switch out.
I love that. And how do people book an appointment with you?
Okay, great question. So I don't specifically have, we don't have eye exams, so I am just eyewear, so glasses and sunglasses. You can always request an appointment with me through just text or phone call, or you can walk in. So anytime I'm open, you're actually free to walk in, or we can reserve time. You just feel free to reach out and ask.
So somebody could get their own concierge service with you.
Oh, 100%. Yes. And I have a special Calendly booking appointment for that, if that's what people would prefer. And then I ask a few questions to really find out what you're wanting out of the visit. So it really helps guide it and make sure it's going to be efficient and tailored to you.
So let's say a potential client is watching this part of the video and they sometimes people want to kind of be walked through like how that goes. Can you just
Mhm.
kind of walk through a little bit how that works? How does someone book a concierge service with you?
Oh, sure, for sure. So I do have a link to my calendar. And so if that's something that someone was interested in, right now on Instagram and our website, there's actually a booking link right now because we are going to have a Nina Muir design studio show next Saturday. And so that's one way that you can find a link, or you can just text me and I can send it to you. But then I would ask, what times are best for you? I would ask for you to give me, if you're looking for something specific, if there are specific materials, colors, shapes you're looking for, I would invite you to share a Pinterest board or any kind of inspiration with me. And also, I'd invite you to bring any outfits that you are, or clothing items that you are wanting to match your eyewear to. I've done that several times for people because they're looking for something specific for a talk or a trip, maybe. And so we're going to match it to a pair of shoes or to a jacket. And so, really, the more information, the better. But it's also, too, it's very much about what the client, what the patient would like to get out of the experience. And I'm very sensitive to that. Not everyone is going to want such an in-depth experience. They might say, I'm looking for something really specific. And what I value is, my time. And so I'd like it to go quickly. And so I can adapt to that as well. So I really like to learn what the patient or client is looking to get out of their experience with me, and then I can adapt my approach to them.
So if somebody had a service with you, they would go to your website, which is
Noveloptical.com. Yeah.
okay. And then if they wanted to leave you a review, they would go there and they would be able to leave you a review.
So reviews would be on Google, on our Google business page, also Yelp, Nextdoor, and Facebook would be great for reviews.
So you mentioned something about discussing non-toxic frames. So let's say there's a perimenopause, getting some hot flashes going, and they don't have. they hear this and they go, now you said something about non-toxic. How do they know which ones are not polyester plastic pieces that are non-toxic?
Great question. So, a couple of things. It really does depend on what specific materials there is a sensitivity to, but in general, the countries that have the best manufacturing processes that aren't going to include toxins would be Europe and then also Japan. So a lot of it is going to be dependent on where the frame was manufactured. Sometimes people have metal allergies or they have plastic intolerances. A plastic frame like the one I'm wearing, it's actually made out of acetate, which is a specific type of plastic, which is actually derived from cotton. And so most people, I've never known anyone to have a sensitivity to it. But if you do want to have the most hypoallergenic frame available, it would be a titanium frame. And so titanium frames, they are just the most hypoallergenic that you can have. No one has any kind of allergies with the titanium frame or plastic issues. And so that would be my main thing there is either a frame that's made in Europe or specifically a titanium would be the most like toxin friendly.
Is titanium heavy? Because it sounds kind of heavy, or no?
No, it's actually super lightweight. This one is not titanium, but it's
Oh, show and
exactly
tell time.
yeah, exactly. It's exactly like one I have above that is. So it's going to be very lightweight and
Wow.
super comfy. It just feels like air when you wear them, honestly. And
Could you
so,
imagine someone having allergies and not knowing that it's possibly their glasses, which is so close to your sinus cavity?
yes, it's so true.
Those were
It's so
cute, by the
true.
way.
Thanks. I love these. These are super cute. Yes, because and also too, our skin is so sensitive, and so often people will have breakouts and not realize that maybe it's right around where their glasses are as well. And so it is really important. It is really important that we seek out clean materials in our glasses too.
Oh, I love that. Oh, what about the people who say, "Oh, I can just use Windex on my glasses, or just a little soap and water, Dawn dish soap." Can you give us just a little sneak peek about what some eyewear care would be like?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. So most eyewear is going to be treated with, it's going to have an anti-reflective or a non-glare, which it really should. And some people they have misconceptions about non-glare. But when you're in the chair at your optometrist's office and your eyes are being tested, the lenses that your eye doctor uses are actually treated for non-glare. So your experience in glasses will never be the same unless we treat your lenses for non-glare as well. Just a little aside there. So it's kind of like looking through a glary window all day versus one that's treated for that glare. You're not going to get the same clarity at all. So, because we have these coatings on our lenses, we definitely don't want to use any kind of cleaner that's has chemicals. So, no to Windex, no to alcohol, no alcohol in our cleaners. And there are specific cleaners made for glasses, which would be what you would get from me if you did get a pair with me. You would just get that complimentary, but it's very gentle. It's going to be a spray cleaner. It's made for lenses with coatings, and a microfiber cloth is the best way to clean glasses. Now, I will say I'm okay with Dawn dish soap as long as it's the most simple, just the original blue. It's not the different
Platinum.
kinds, the platinum, not the platinum, but just the plain original Dawn dish soap is perfectly fine. Just like one drop, lukewarm water. It really does help break down the facial oils. And so the spray cleaner for every day, Dawn dish soap, maybe once a week, maybe a couple times a month, will help keep them really clean and it does not damage the frame or lenses. So that I'm okay with.
I love, I think you talked about it in one of your videos on Instagram where you talked about your eyewear as an investment,
Mhm.
if I heard correctly. So let's just talk to the people who think that blowing on our glasses are a little ha ha, and then just cleaning it with our shirt and what we're so really is that over time going to affect our eyewear, our vision, the really bouginess that we got in our glasses, and over time we're gonna have to have those replaced. Tell us why we
Yeah,
should or shouldn't do that.
yeah, great question. So, we definitely don't want to use our t-shirt or paper towels or random shop tails to clean our glasses. And the reason for that is our lenses are going to be very prone to scratches. Not very prone, but they can be scratched. The type of resin, the type of material our lenses need to be in order to refract light properties so we can see does mean that they can be scratched. So a microfiber cloth is going to always be the safest option. Paper towels, Kleenex, t-shirts, they all have a form of wood particle in them that will scratch the surface of your lens. Absolutely. And the bad thing about scratches on our glasses lenses is that can't be undone. There's no undoing it. Often people will ask, oh, can you just buff these scratches out? Which unfortunately that can't happen. That's not a thing. And so what's great is that our lenses all come with a scratch warranty for a year so that if your lenses do get scratched, there is at least one time free replacement. But we do want our lenses to last a long time. So avoiding anything with any kind of wood pulp or wood particle is what we need to do to make sure that that longevity of our glasses is going to be there for us. Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about, so this is another question. It's about emotional intelligence. If you feel like you want to answer it, it says, how can emotional intelligence help business owners improve their patient or client experience overall? I think something maybe you mentioned in the very beginning about one of your expertise.
Yes. So emotional intelligence can be just really life changing when we realize that it's how we interact with all humans. So a lot of times people can have a big blind spot in that area as far as why am I having an issue with this person? A really, really common deficiency in emotional intelligence is going to be in emotional self-awareness, which oddly enough, I think a lot of doctors, a lot of business owners, a lot of high achievers, they're going to have really high achievement and drive. And their emotional self-awareness is going to be kind of low because they're used to just pushing through, which we all know that you can't just push through forever. That's a great way to reach burnout. So, that emotional self-awareness piece can be so huge because we actually can't have empathy for others until we learn to have empathy for ourselves, until we can recognize what we're experiencing, what we're feeling, and validate it in ourselves. And so I do think that SCIP coaching can be so beneficial for business owners, especially because they do tend to sometimes be a little bit detached as to why they might be having issues with either their team or maybe those key clients or patients that they seem to not be able to connect with or help well. There usually is going to be some kind of blind spot, but because they're such big achievers, they're such big, just they're so driven, they're just used to pushing through. And when that doesn't work, they don't know what to do. So I think that one of my favorite tools for that specific emotional, intelligence piece would be keeping a journal, taking time every day. And it sounds so silly, but it's so necessary. Taking just 5, 10 minutes a day to sit down, do nothing else. Don't be multitasking. Don't be checking your phone. Just sit down and be still and ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? What feelings am I experiencing? What feelings did I experience this morning? What feelings did I experience around this win I had? What about the loss or the setback? What feelings am I experiencing? And we'll find that if we are committed to that practice on a daily basis, we start to really increase our emotional intelligence and awareness of others because we've increased our own like self-awareness as well.
That is so important. Most people don't go back and read their journal, but whenever they do, they're like, "God, who
Yeah,
wrote that? I am so smart.
yeah,
Like, I'm going to take my own advice. That is so good."
exactly. So true.
So, for that piece of coaching, do you offer services?
Um, I not officially, but I do. I am definitely open to it.
Is
So
it on your calendar? How would they book that?
So I would say shoot me an email. So my email it was on my final page and I can share it again.
Oh, absolutely.
Share that
We'd
again.
love to see it. Hmm.
Um,
There's a QR code on there too. We can't wait to
yes,
find out about that next.
for sure.
So,
So
shoot you an email.
yeah, just shoot me an email, molly@noveloptical.com, because I don't have an official like website for SCIP coaching, but it is definitely something I'm certified in, something I'm willing to do, and something I am definitely open to. So just shoot me an email and we can talk about that for sure. But yeah, and so here's my address here at Novel Optical. Right now, through the end of the year, I'm actually open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. Just closed for for Christmas Day, but we open Christmas Eve, New Year's Day. This QR code is actually to our Instagram, which is going to be our most built out platform. But you can see, gosh, patients who have been here, eyewear lovers who are already wearing their glasses from Novel. There's education, there's like lots of fun stuff. So definitely feel free to check that out. And then we also are on Facebook. And so yeah, would love to have you guys check us out. And also I'm really open to any questions. That phone number is my office number, but you can call me, you can text me, and of course email me anytime as well.
What's your turnaround time for questions getting answered? That way, some people don't think that in 2 hours you're going to get back to them.
Sure, great question. So I would say it really depends. Definitely within 48 hours. I'll definitely respond to questions within 48 hours. Sometimes it
Of
might
a
be,
business day.
yes, yeah, for sure.
So, um, there's some newbies out there in the world. I mean, I'm sure they look to you for guidance and, direction. So, for a new optician or team members in healthcare, what's one piece of advice you wish someone told you at the beginning of your career? This is where we give back, right?
I love that. That's a really great question. What's really funny about most opticians like me is that we didn't get into this field on purpose. It's usually quite by accident. Like for myself, I actually started as a receptionist at an optometry clinic. Excuse me, and that's how I got into this field, but then loved it. What I would say to people who are new to the industry is just to, gosh, be open to learning, not only from your fellow opticians, the optometrists or ophthalmologists you're around, but also from your patients. I think the most important piece of advice would be to listen really well, and be willing to do anything that you can, anything within your power, anything within your responsibilities. I think that those of us who have really excelled in opticianry have been willing to do that. They will do whatever is asked of them. They will learn the new thing. They'll step out in an area they're not comfortable in and end up learning a whole new craft and falling in love with it. So the way that we really excel as opticians is by helping our patients. So, it can be tempting to start to feel um, like you don't have the time for certain people, or certain little tasks might be beneath you, cleaning someone's glasses, etc. But really, if you're going to excel in patient care, you have to really love that stuff. It has to light you up. You have to just love to have people come in asking for your help, and love listening to them, and love providing that service. So that's the most important thing, is just having an openness to learning, but also to listening to people, truly listening to people and hearing what they're asking for, instead of kind of pushing your own agenda or your own idea of what they need.
But I will tell you, there are some people who I bet they walk in and they have no clue, but they've got some sort of idea. So I love your vision board idea that they just show up and they're like, I saw this in a magazine. Would this look good on my face? Now, how good of a truth teller are you, Molly? If it looked terrible on me, would you be like, okay, so I really think for you, we should try this? Or would
Oh,
you?
for sure, for sure. I have been wrongly accused of being too nice so many times, but here's the thing: there's a wide range of what can look good on any one person, and there's some things that we should stay away from for sure. If there are some things that we're definitely should stay away from, I will let you know 100%. But then there are some options that are gonna be stylistic choices. Like maybe some people wouldn't wear something with color, but I would. And so maybe if I was the patient, I would be picking out like two or three or four colorful pairs and maybe one neutral. I think the moment that we're talking about is sometimes when you sit down and you as the patient, you're going to ask me, gosh, which one should I get? And if I've told you like no to those, no to those, and then we have like three that all look really great, I'm going to say, these all look amazing. It really comes down to what you're looking for. Like, I'll point out the differences. This one's really colorful. This one's very chic. This one's like great for professional settings. So, what do you think is a best fit for you? Because I can't tell you that. Only you can tell you that. So,
And then they should get both.
exactly. And then sometimes the answer is all three, because they actually all fit my life. And that can be why we're having a quandary, is because, we need them all.
Because I'm just going to tell you, there's not one day that we have this personality, and there's a time when the glasses make us feel sassy because we're
Mhm.
feeling sassy. So just know from the optic wear of how we're doing today.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. You have a lot of questions. Do you mind if we ask some more?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Alrighty. So, ooh, what is the biggest aha moment that you've seen when someone realizes emotional intelligence? This isn't okay, so we're going back. That when someone realizes emotional intelligence isn't just a soft skill, it's a leadership superpower.
Mm-hmm. I would say, yeah, that's a great aha moment is going to be the first time that as a leader, you step out and you try it. You try what's been asked of you, and then you start to see the way your team responds. So you see that trust being built, and then people can come to you with things that maybe they couldn't come to you with before, or you wouldn't be in the loop about because that trust wasn't there. So that is the hugest aha moment I have seen with leaders, is when they're usually very suspect because I'm asking them to try something completely out of their comfort zone. And so they work on it and they incorporate it into their daily life. And then they see their relationships with their team members, with their direct reports completely change. And then they're like, wow, they're telling me everything. They asked me for help in this area. And usually it would have just kind of gone their own way. And so that's the hugest aha moment that I've seen, probably.
That is so powerful. Going into 2026, people are getting new jobs, people are having new team members, you know what I mean? New year, new change, new things. What I'm hearing from you and what you say is that if you're a manager of a team and you feel a little weak sauce in an area, it sounds to me like you would be the perfect person for them to talk to because maybe you can draw out some things that they can actually start maybe for their new team members, maybe they lost some along the way and they're like, is it me? Well, it could be them. And I really think it's really nice that they can talk to you and you can kindly open them to suggestions to think about, let's just turn the wheel this way and let's try that. Oh, I love that for you. I love that for the people that are going to work with you. I hope people send you emails that are managers that are new. It almost seems like there are people that are new managers and they're like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I just got the job. Oh my gosh. The person stepped down and I got the job. I see this for you, Molly. Do you see that for you in
Oh,
your niche?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the things that I have like really loved about my journey over the past decades, um, because there really is such a divide between leader and team sometimes, and I really hate that. And I don't think anyone wants that. The leader doesn't want that. The team doesn't want that. But often they don't know how to get past it. They don't know what the problem is. They don't know how to get past it. And so I really do love helping people with that, because often it's just very simple. SEIP, it breaks it down into tools, and then we have tools, we have exercises we can use to strengthen those tools and proficiencies. So it really demystifies it, it takes the guesswork out of it, and it gives you something very concrete to work on, which I think that's really great for a lot of leaders who tend to be type A. It works. We have an assignment, we have something we can do to work on, and you will see results for sure. I love it.
Is that a guarantee? For your
Um,
money back. Just kidding. Just kidding. So I thought this question was super interesting. If you don't mind, I would love to ask it. Outside of the eye care world, how do you use the skills in day-to-day life, even with family or networking?
Hmm. Like what skills? Like the emotional intelligence skills, or
I
like.
think it's that outside of your eye care world, how do you use the
Mm,
skills in day-to-day life? If does that
okay.
sound like a okay?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so for sure. So I will say, being in eye care as long as I have, I do have a lot of people who will ask me questions. And I do find that really rewarding to be able to help people, whether their mother got like a new health diagnosis and they're looking for a specific specialist, or people have issues with their glasses. I adjust glasses all the time. Unfortunately, I don't always have my tools with me. So, but I always tell people I'm always willing to do that for no charge. So people can always bring in their glasses, even if they haven't bought them with me, and I can adjust them for them. And I'm very happy for them to pick my brain. I'm very willing to share and talk about any of the knowledge that I have. I feel like that's just truly a community service from those of us in the industry, just to give, opinions and guidance. Again, I can't replace a doctor. I can't be your eye doctor for you, but I can certainly help you talk things out, or if you have questions or need support, anything eye related for sure.
Wow. I am so blown away, Molly. Just when you think that, you're getting a webinar with an eyeglass specialist, next thing you know, the clarity actually comes from other things in life. I think that is so wonderful. You have such a wonderful gift. You have such a soft voice, and you make me feel like I just want to sit here and talk to you like for hours. So you must have to turn on a timer to be like, okay, we're gonna have to in 5 minutes, we're gonna have to cut this short. Because I bet people could talk to you for hours about stuff.
Oh, I love that though. And that's the beauty of having an independent shop, because I don't have a stream of people coming in all the time. I really do have the time to sit and talk with people. And that's one of the things that I really, really love about what I do. And so that's that I would never want to cut that short. I guess sometimes you have to, but I always tell people like I'm so welcome and willing for you to come and talk through things with me. And it's really like the joy of what I do. So thank you. I love it.
Wow. Oh man, that is so okay. So what's something unique about you that maybe like people should know? What's something fantastic, unique we
Mm.
haven't even talked about, and you're like, oh, by the way, I want you all to know this. I know.
That's such a good question. I feel like I might have covered it, but I think that the main thing is that with me, you're going to get someone who really listens. You're going to get my full attention, is rare in this world. It just is. You're going to get my 100% my full attention. And also, I'm going to be giving you empathetic service. Empathetic service. I'm an amazing adjuster. I know it's like a random thing, but your glasses have to be comfortable. People always tell me you're an amazing adjuster. And more than anything, I love bringing in really fun curated frame lines that you don't see anywhere else. So I don't know if you see these behind me, but they are definitely one of a kind. And so that's what I really, really love is bringing something really, really different to our area.
So like come to Oklahoma and get an exclusive pair of glasses that are adjusted by Molly, and then also you leave feeling like you had this wonderful power session of where you can go back to work wearing your glasses and like you can conquer your team, even if you're a self-employed person.
100%. Absolutely. I love that.
I think that is so fantastic. Well, Molly, I really appreciate your time. I love that people have this opportunity to connect with you on Facebook, on Instagram. I know that you're going to be so busy, so I'm going to ask people to be super patient with you for uh for you to get back with them because this information I know is going to go like wildfire. This is great. I don't know of a single person that offers even this much focus. Whenever people go to their doctor, I hear a lot of women say, I was in the doctor's office. I don't know what we said. And then next thing you know, I have this prescription and oh my gosh, how do I take it? I
Mhm.
feel like, and what I'm understanding with you is like it's just deeper than an optical moment. It's deeper than that. It's like a session where everything is like you leave better than when you came in.
Oh,
Do you feel like you
100%.
get that with your clients?
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. And I have a lot of people tell me that, and they're like, wow, no one really ever takes the time to help me understand these things like you have. And so that makes me sad, but also deeply gratified that I'm able to help in the way that I can. And I just want to keep doing it. I just want to keep helping people. And so, I just love it. I hope everyone comes and just, even just says hi, like I would love to meet you and ask me your questions in person. I would love that.
So y'all go and flood her Instagram with lots of really good, helpful questions and follow her for sure because you never know what she's got coming up for 2026. You always want to take a look at any good deals, good sales, good exclusive offers because if that's the one pair that's left, you might want to snag it. So
Mhm.
I know a lot of people who really like that exclusivity of just knowing that not everybody has the same because you buy a car and then next thing you know everybody's got that same car and there are people
Mhm.
who just really want their own personality
Mhm.
and it really just kind of says those glasses are you and I think that's really great that you offer something so special like that.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Connie.
Wow. Well, you all I hope that you have screenshotted this. I hope that you go to her Instagram, which is Novel Optical, and that you go and like stop in and say hi. And also, what's your coffee drink? What's your how do you take your coffee?
Oh, my coffee? Gosh, I love a sugar-free vanilla latte, extra hot.
Sugar-free vanilla latte extra hot. So there you all go. Go get yourself something and bring her something because you never know you might get something more than just your lenses and frames taking a
That'll
look
be
at.
amazing. That'd be awesome.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the Women's Wellness Journey. So in January, y'all, we have a fantastic lineup in 2026. So, I mean, we really ended 2025 with a bang. I think that Molly has done such a fantastic job with providing you all with lots of information and lots of food for thought. So make sure that you book an appointment with her. Make sure you check out her Instagram because y'all websites are expensive. So just try to take as much advantage of Instagram and Facebook and all those good things as possible. Send her an email with detailed questions, with as detailed as you can be, with as many images as you can provide, because I'm telling you, you will get a faster response when you give a detailed message. Am I right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the women's wellness journey. Is there any final thoughts that you'd love to share?
I, I would just say that don't forget that you're the main character in your health journey, in your eyewear journey. It's all about what you want, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Nobody can tell you what you want but you. I love that. I think that's such a wonderful message. Thank you so much, Molly, and everybody. Thank you all so much for joining in. Thank you all for your questions. That was a ton of questions. And if you have more, make sure you send them to her in an email. You'll have a fantastic day.